1971, Frank, Arnold Palmer won the event. That was 8 years before he actually became the host. Beat one of the sweet swingers in the game, Julius Boros, by a shot.
Yeah, Julius Boros is certainly a name to remember and a rhythm that everybody would like to copy. But, you know, in the mid-'70s, Arnold was just prolific. And he grew to really love and savor his own event. Once he put his name on it, the event just simply grew in stature.
Well, this looks good.
Certainly is.
That one is in the fairway, down there about 290 yards. Frank, this is still a -03. You played the game at the highest level. How hard is that?
It's almost unimaginable to Rich, because, you know, Bay Hill changes each and every year when they have the tournament. But there was always also the look of resignation of the other players. There's never really been a golf course that really suits Tiger Woods any better. He hits the ball a long way. He hits it high. Greens are firm and fast. It's just built for him. And not only has he won it 4 times in a row, it's 8 total now. Just a fraction too aggressive. Remember, line and speed go together.
Sometimes you want that birdie so badly, and all of a sudden you're faced with a lot of work, more work than you had hoped for, just to make the par. Not his best stuff right there. Just a couple of feet. Well, with that drop shot, moves to 1 over for the tournament. Frank, 574-yard par 5. Scoring opportunity here?
The breeze behind, once again, a reachable par 5. The hardest thing about this hole really is the green. It's raised up a little bit, slopes off on either side.
Be a little disappointed with that because it lands in the rough and it appears to be fairly thick over there. Second shot coming out of the rough here. So after the layup, Frank, here at the par 5 12th, pitch shot here, try to make birdie.
Yeah, just use the contours of this green. You can actually get to this flag a lot of different ways. Using one of the mounds, there's nothing wrong with that. This looks like it's going to find the target.
On the green, and a chance for birdie. And it's a long way to the hole from here. Never easy. Close. Couldn't ask for much more on that putt. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Well, that looked for all the world like it was dead center.
I've got no idea how that missed.
That's a bogey. At the par 4 13th now, Frank, what's the key here?
Really avoid those 3 bunkers, Rich. You don't want a fairway bunker shot over water for your second shot.
This, she is winding up, just wants to tear the cover off this golf ball. Wow. John Daly, take a back seat, big fella. How about that drive?
Is it stopped yet?
It's still going.
Getting set for this next shot from the rough, what does the player need to be careful of here, Frank?
Well, this is where we're going to see exactly how good they are because, you know, that's not exactly the best lie, but it's sort of doable if you know what you're doing. But still not done.
Frank, what's the key? You just hit one OB.
Somehow forget what's just happened. Otherwise, the same thing's liable to happen.
Now, this will be counted as the fourth shot after going OB on that previous shot. Good strike right there, right off the center of the face and about 20 feet away. This would be one drop shot for her if she makes it. Well, you couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. A rocky road to this point. 4 over par on the round. 14th hole, Frank. More than 200 yards, par 3. This is no picnic.
No, it plays a little longer than that, too. Slightly uphill. You've got to carry the ball onto the front of the screen. It will not run up.
Just a bit offline.
Yeah, the hard work's coming up now, though. It's a long way away.
Needs a pair of binoculars to see the hole. That was not a very good read right there. These putts keep the round together. And we look now at our leaderboard, and there is Martin Keimer. He is on the move, only a shot behind.
And starting to play the golf that we expect from the two-time major champion.
We're here at the 15th now, and a big dogleg right on this one. Frank, what's the best route to take to shoot the low number?
You've got to look at that run out down the left side, which is about 320 yards. If you can stay short of that, then that gives you a perfect shot into this green. Rich, there's rough and rough. That ball is needle nose down.
Can't even see it from here. Frank, what's the best way to get at the golf ball when it's sitting down just a bit in the rough?
You have to accept the fact, first and foremost, that you're not going to get clean contact. So you have to decide whether the ball's going to come out short or it's going to fly. Because very rarely will it come out the normal distance of what you hit on the fairway. So if it's a little thin and wispy, chances are it might fly. If it's nestled down, you're going to have to take at least another club.
Mishit, wrong club. What happened there, Frank?
All of the above, maybe. It's a little bit of a head scratcher. It wasn't that hard a shot.
Solid play, heart of the green. Getting set now over the putt. Been a little too much of that, Frank, just sort of ho-hum pars. Well, that'll do it for day number 1, and a tough start for some of those who were hoping for better things.
Yeah, slow start, surprisingly, really, and hard to put your finger on why, because we saw a lot of good golf, but now, outside looking in, we'll need to play well tomorrow.
NBC Golf Channel on EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Its second round coverage of the Arnold Palmer Invitational. We're at the Bay Hill Club and Lodge in Orlando, Florida, site of one of the PGA Tour's premier stops, the Arnold Palmer Invitational. Always attracting a great field, and through the years it has been the scene of just some championship play from one guy in particular.
Tiger Woods has won there an incredible 8 times.
Just pulverized that golf ball.
That's fine.
Well, she's firing on all cylinders right now, has really played mistake-free golf. It has been a pleasure to watch.
In the direction of the sand.
Looks like it. Just a bit offline and into the bunker. Frank, there's nothing like catching a bunker shot just perfectly. Splashes out, lands softly, and just runs up to that hole.
Yeah, it's like 3D. There's the component in the strike where it's going to land, and then the third part of it is how much will it roll.
Good par. Number on the card, you think driver. Maybe not. Why?
Yeah, it's imperative you hit the fairway here, Rich. Water obviously in play left, 2 bunkers on the right. This is a second shot hole.
They'll be pretty happy with that 290-yard poke off the tee. Frank, another good hole, the par 4 11th, looking at the second shot now.
Yeah, the second shot has a similar look to the second shot at the third hole at Bay Hill. Water all down the left-hand side. That has to be respected. And a green, really, where you've got to favor the right side, or at least right of middle. This looks like it's heading for the bunker.
Oh, my goodness, that could have been really bad.
Can you imagine if that kicks towards the bunker?
Pretty good shot right there.
It's at sneaky distance.
That's costly right there.
Painful.
And getting ready for the putt. Ooh, so close. Oh, man.
Just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Just a couple of feet. Frank, how do you explain what we saw here?
It's a mess. It's probably the easiest way to put it. This is a case of anything that could go wrong. Not just probably, it did.
Not the best shot, this one in the rough, but still will have a play from there. Second shot from the rough. It's on the way. Frank, that ball's sitting up like it's on plush carpeting.
Rich, if you and I had lies like that every time, we'd still be playing this game for a living.
So after the layup, Frank, here at the par 5 12th, pitch shot here, try to make birdie.
Yeah, just use the contours of this green. You can actually get to this flag a lot of different ways. Using one of the mounds, there's nothing wrong with that.
Frank in a bit of trouble here at the par 5, missing the green on that third shot.
You're just battling to make par. And this is going to be difficult.
Who knows what this young standout can do? Every time you think they're going to back off, bang, they come right back. There's a birdie inside the cut line. Par 4 13th, Frank, you've played it on a number of occasions. How do you attack this hole?
Really one of the shortest on the golf course, but this is a fool's paradise here. There's a lot of things that can go wrong. Now, this is not heading in the right direction.
No, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. Well, this is a humbling game, isn't it, Frank?
Well, shots like that, not to be proud of.
Well, on the green, but far from the hole.
Yeah, a little bit of a head scratcher. A lot of work coming up here.
Pretty long putt right here. You'd be happy to get it to within 2-3 feet. So a long putt there and just didn't read it quite right. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Good roll. Solid. That's a par. Missed cut. What happened, Frank?
Just not good enough. That's the easy way. Way too many shots out there, especially for that caliber of play. So put it in the memory banks. Move forward. Better days ahead.
Coverage coming your way is presented by EA Sports and the PGA Tour. It's opening round coverage of the Alberta Classic. We're off and running here, and let's take you down to the action at hole number 1. Frank, you've been there so many times. Really nothing like the first tee of a brand new championship.
The thought of the unknown, the beauty of sport, you and the golf course. Doesn't get any better, Rich.
Wow, that is a monster drive down there, about 315 yards. Now the approach shot here at the par 4 first.
Generous green, just a little bit uphill. Not minute, really. Big green to hit into, though. Well, there's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
On the green, and a chance for birdie here in the first hole. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Starting to move now, Frank, on this leaderboard.
Certainly going all in the positive direction. He was in the middle of the pack, now top 15.
Here at the par 3 second hole, just about 170 yards. Pretty good shot right there, about 10 feet away, setting up the putt for birdie. Frank going for another birdie here.
Just to get on a real roll.
How about this? Birdies at 1 and 2. We could be in for something pretty special today. Frank, plenty of scoring opportunities in the early portion of this golf course. We're now at a par 5, the third hole, and it's only 528 yards.
You can see why we're going to see a lot of people perhaps being 3 under through the first 3 holes, Rich. This par 5 bending to the right, very reachable. You just keep that tee shot nice and high off the tee. Let it carry.
Hold on here a second. She is winding up for a big one. She wants to smash this as far as she can hit it.
Long just meant longer.
Not the longest, but not bad. 295 yards in the fairway. Will settle. Nice position, short grass, second shot. All right, Frank, what's the right play here on this second shot to the par 5 third?
Well, even though that hole is a dog leg to the right, the best way to bring it in actually is to use the general contours, which is right to left, and the shape of the shot in that direction as well. So it might look like a little cut, but it actually suits a little draw. That just came out blazing. As soon as it hit the green, it was never going to stop.
Fourth shot, wants to get this close.
Not a problem there, Rich.
Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. To -2 early in the round. We have already begun. Let's pick up with the action at hole number 4. Couple of birdies already on the card. Still early, Frank, but we've seen some solid play.
This is exactly how you want to start the first round of a tournament, Rich.
That should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. No problems there. Really good approach shot. Now, good look at birdie.
It's no snack, though.
Good try. Just didn't quite read the break, Frank.
It shouldn't be a problem, you'd think, cleaning up here for par.
Holding steady now at 2 under par. Second round coverage coming your way tomorrow. For our entire crew, I'm Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo. So long for now. Presented by EA Sports and the PGA Tour. It's second round coverage of the Alberta Classic. Well, look at this hole, Frank. A par 3, 192 yards. It is beautiful.
It's called Devil's Cauldron, but with that lake, I think that should cool you down, not heat you up. Just keep an eye on that drop of elevation. For every 10 yards, you should reduce it by a club. So it's going to play some 50, 60 feet downhill.
That ball is lost in the water. So hit the previous shot in the water, took a drop. This now the third shot. Frank, this is one you don't practice, but sometimes you have to do it. Time for the drop.
Yeah, it should be the easiest shot in golf. You've just paid for it.
Getting set for this next shot from the rough. What does the player need to be careful of here, Frank?
Well, this is where we're going to see exactly how good they are because, you know, that's not exactly the best lie, but it's sort of doable if you know what you're doing.
Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Frank, you know full well, this can be a humbling game.
And an embarrassing game.
Frank, what's the key here at the fifth hole? It's par 4, 424 yards.
The first real stringent tee shot of the day. 3 bunkers, first one not really in play. That third one in the distance, unless you're someone like a Bubba Watson, you should be able to aim at that and not reach it.
Good strike, good lie, good chance to attack the pin. Frank, what are you thinking about on this approach here at the fifth?
Once again, with a good drive, you're left with a scoring club. By that I mean a short iron. Gives you a lot more options and a lot more flags you can go at. Even with a flag in the back left, with a scoring club in hand, you can virtually just go straight at that. The ball will not kick too much once it hits the green.
Safely aboard. Sitting right now at 2 over par for the round. Frank, that's what you want to do. Good lag putt.
Yeah, they can't all go in.
8-foot putt here. Frank, you can see by the reaction, it has been that kind of week. Just a few too many pars. Frank, the 6th here at Banff Springs, a good little hole, isn't it?
It is very tempting, very easy to sort of just stand up there and wail away with the driver and get caught. This is a generous fairway. You could hit any club down there and you're not going to have a problem with a second shot. So it's just trying to find a yardage that you're comfortable with.
I mean, she absolutely annihilated that tee ball. That's a good spot right there.
Center cut.
Frank, in the changing weather conditions, players have so many different options, don't they? Some might like to play it high. Others might want to play it a little lower and along the ground.
Really got to be on your toes today because of that, Rich. And really, that's what separates the men from the boys, so to speak. You know that any mistake you make can obviously be magnified by the wind conditions. But conversely, it's a real good chance for skill to shine.
Birdie try up next. And it's a long way to the hole from here. Never easy. That may have been a bit too much to ask for there, that distance putt, Frank.
Yeah, it's fine to be greedy before you hit the putt, but after you've hit it, 2 from that distance is fine.
That's good work. That's a good par right there. Well, Frank, this is the longest hole on the golf course, 602 yards, obviously a par 5, though guys like Rory have to be thinking about making an easy 4, getting home in 2.
Yeah, you referenced it. Longest hole on the golf course. Yet Rory McIlroy still reached it in 2.
Be a little disappointed with that because it lands in the rough and it appears to be fairly thick over there.
Remember, out of the rough. Expect the ball to jump forward a little bit.
That one is bunker bound, it looks like. That one is in the bunker. This is a shot from 115 yards. Strong winds continue to be a factor. Frank, I know you've played all over the world. How much did you enjoy the challenge of playing into a stiff breeze?
Well, it was a chance to separate yourself from the rest of the field, Rich. Just like these conditions we're seeing right now. You've really got to be smart. Pick the right shot. If you get too aggressive on a day like today, you'll pay a far more severe price than normal.
Club selection obviously is crucial.
Oh, it's imperative today.
Take an extra club or two, choke down.
Very much so.
Leaves that one about 20 feet out from the cup. Nicely played shot. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. That is a painful bogey at the 7th hole. So a tester from 4 feet. Frank, this has been an absolute mess today and all week long.
You said it best.
Frank, disappointing couple of rounds there.
And consequently a miscut. No chance of playing in the weekend, but there's more than one tournament ahead.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live first-round coverage of the International Challenge.
Second shot.
Third shot, looking for a good one. Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot on the green in regulation. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. Kind of a tricky read. Shouldn't be a problem here. Frank, that's a par, and onward we go. Back over to number 7. Has not been a stellar performance to this point, but Frank, not too bad.
When you consider 4-round events, Rich, you're going to have a period where there's a little luck.
I love this. She is winding up, just wants to tear the cover off this golf ball.
Grab the fire extinguisher. Put out that ball is on fire. It's melting going through the air. Smoked that one.
Excellent start off the tee. That's a great way to begin this hole. Settles in, looking to knock it in tight. Frank, I'm thinking back to 1989 in the Open Championship. That was sort of our first chance to see the new playoff format at the Open.
That's right, Rich. In 1985, they decided to have a 4-hole playoff. And that had been changed, too. In 1964, they went from a 36-hole playoff to an 18-hole playoff. And the reason why? My fellow countryman, Bob Charles, won in a 36-hole playoff in 1963. They realized 36 was too much. I think 4 holes right now is just perfect.
Trying to stay steady, make a par. Still even par for the day. Frank, here we are. All of 123 yards. It's a famous postage stamp hole.
It sits up there nice and proud. It's protected by 5 bunkers, but avoid the ones on the right. They're the deepest, all the way down on that right side.
Frank missed the green off the tee.
Yeah, but this is certainly a tricky little shot coming up here at the par 3.
Into the thick stuff, that's a difficult lie. All right, now another shot from the rough.
Yeah, this time better be better than the one we just saw. I mean, this skill, and that was sublime.
Just good hands, coming out of the rough, able to manage the distance, and now in great position.
Rich, you got to tell me what happened. I covered my eyes on that one.
Another bogey. What else? Frank, how does the front nine finish up with this par 4?
Well, the par 4 ninth is called the Monk. It's not overly long, 423 yards, dogleg to the right. Just one bunker down the left to be avoided. Game's about rhythm. When you have good rhythm, it just looks effortless. To hit the ball 300 yards through the air, that easy.
Well, that sets up well for a chance at the green here at the 9th. And this attempt will be from about 130 yards.
A little absurd, that, Rich. The shot wasn't that hard, but it's come up well short.
Didn't appear committed through impact.
If you hit enough shots, every now and again, one's going to go in.
Crazy, crazy game. Frank, the 9th hole, 423 yards, not especially long by today's standards. You looking to make birdie here, or you happy to make a par and move on to the back 9?
Well, there's certainly a chance for birdie. One of the hardest things about the 9th is the raised green. And it's sort of, there's 2 tiers here, just the top level. If that pin is on the top level, then you would certainly walk away with 4 very happily.
Always makes the hole easier, playing it from the fairway. Nice position, short grass, second shot. On the green, and a chance for birdie.
Chance for back-to-back.
Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Steady as she goes. Another par, and still even for the round. Hole number 11 is called Railway. Frank, it looks as though it should be called Gorse, because that's about all I see on this first shot.
Without doubt, the toughest tee shot you're going to face at Royal Troon. This is hit the fairway or start racking up a big score.
What a drive. Just tattooed that. Good lie in the fairway. A good chance to make something happen here.
This looks like it's going to find the target.
Good strike right there, right off the center of the face and about 20 feet away. 21-foot putt, set to go. You can see why this player has been compared to a young Rory McIlroy, featured golfer making birdie and now sitting comfortably inside that cut line. Well, Frank, Royal Troon Golf Club did not disappoint today.
No, it certainly didn't. The old bounce and roll game, it's a game for everyone. You never really perfect it. You just learn it and you get better at it.
And with that, we bid you farewell from the shores of Scotland for EA Sports. This is Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo, and we'll see you next time. EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live second-round coverage of the International Challenge. Well, this golf course goes back a long ways, to 1878, in fact. We're at Royal Troon Golf Club in Scotland. Rich Thorner alongside Frank Nobilo. And Frank, where are some of the scoring opportunities out here?
Well, normally when the Open Championships played, the breeze comes out of the sort of northwest, which means those first few holes are played down breeze and the closing stretch is played into the breeze. So really you sort of make your hay on the way out and then you hang on for dear life on the way in. That doesn't really change because you have some rather short par fours to start. That's an absolute beauty.
Chance to get it close here. Frank, over the course of the last 15 years or so, there have been a number of initiatives within the game of golf just to try to grow the sport.
Yeah, we've seen the PGA Junior League, which is a series of competitions, obviously for juniors to play. But the first tee really is worldwide now, just to try and introduce players from all over the world into the game of golf. They're introduced with club professionals. They learn skills that are essential really to play the game of golf. But in 2014 was a real step, what I think, in the right direction to showcase the junior talent around the world with the drive, chip and putt, where you actually get a chance to play the drive, chip and putt final at Augusta National, the home of the Masters.
Imagine young kids, boys and girls, 8 years old, 11 years old, being able to go home and tell their friends, tell their families, hey, I have something in common with Jack Nicklaus, with Arnold Palmer, with Phil Mickelson, with Tiger Woods. I won at Augusta National Golf Club. Very nicely done, right on the dance floor. And getting ready for the putt. Wow, that hurt.
It did. Shot gone forever.
Makeable putt right here, currently sitting at 1 under for the round. Frank, nothing really went the player's way this week.
Yeah, if this was motor racing, you'd say it's a case of having 4 flat tires.
All right, Frank, how about the 6th hole, long par 5?
Yeah, 3 bunkers off the tee. Avoid those. But if you hit a good one, certainly reachable. Oh, that's got to be 300 yards, isn't it?
Second from an excellent lie. On the green, and looking at a birdie opportunity. And it's a long way to the hole from here. Never easy.
When you consider the length of that putt, that's a good putt.
This from about 10 feet. That's a solid par putt. Ball's teed up, ready to fly here at the 7th.
Yeah, it's a slight elevated tee, so you see all the problems in front of you. A couple of bunkers down the left, 2 down the right, but it's links golf, so you know where you got to go. That's in between them.
Right out of the center of the bat.
Did you hear that? There's always advantage of hitting it further than most, Rich, and straighter than most. When you put the two together, it's just straight up a head start.
And to generate some momentum here at the 7th hole, it is for birdie. This is a pretty long putt here. You'd be happy to get this to within 2 or 3 feet. You really want to take the stress out of that next putt. Pretty good stroke right there. Just hit it through the break.
Well, it's that sort of distance. If it goes in, it's a bonus.
Good putt. Now the 8th hole, and if the wind permits, you can take some extra club, sort of get it up in the air and land it softly on the green. I guess the last thing you want is to come in hot and roll it off this postage stamp green.
Well, you really don't want that ball going right either. Those 2 bunkers down the right side, they're the deepest ones, and they must be avoided.
Safely aboard.
Even par currently.
You couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. Seems to really have the touch today. Third round coverage comes your way tomorrow on EA Sports. For Frank Nobilo and our entire crew, I'm Rich Lerner saying so long for now. EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today it's live third-round coverage of the International Challenge. And let's see what she's got here. She is loading up for the big one. That is a heat-seeking missile right there. Wow.
It's fine.
Well, this is the kind of strong wind that will really test a player. Good tee shot right in the fairway and plenty long.
Fine. Something happens, that's good.
That's a nice shot right there. At the par 3 fifth, ready to get this hole started.
Prevailing breeze once again should be coming to those 3 bunkers on the left side.
This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I would say.
Well, that one didn't work out. It didn't look bad in the air. It hit the green, but didn't sit.
Yeah, it was never going to stop.
Second shot. Good look at the green. Solid play, heart of the green. Nudge this one home, finish it up. Got it for par. What a good hole. They call it the slopes. And the rough off the right-hand side of the green, really some of the most punishing on the entire course.
Yeah, and the one thing you don't want to do is actually leave it up there on that high side, because it means that you'll be chipping downhill.
Good tee shot, good lie, and now a good chance to take advantage here on this hole.
Second shot.
Paying attention like a little kid at school, Frank. That baby's sitting up.
Sitting up. It's got the best view as well. You don't even need binoculars from where that ball is.
This is a 99-yard shot.
Rich, these winds haven't subsided at all today. It's certainly a tough test out there right now for these players.
They get your attention, don't they, as a player?
They have club selection right now vital.
You put the ball back in your stance just a little bit.
If you're going to hit it down.
Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Well, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
Starting to move on this leaderboard now, Frank.
It's got a nice look to it. The who's who.
Frank, we're moving inland now, and what are we facing here at this par 4 7th hole?
Just a dog leg to the right. Ideally, just a little cut off the tee.
Wow, Frank, look at that one run out. Just blistered that tee shot.
Well, that has to be 325 if it's an inch.
Oh, just a superb shot.
You're not going to see much better than that all day today.
This one just requires a little bit of focus. Well, yeah, birdie, Frank, and another shot closer.
Sniffing in the right direction.
And this is where Gene Sarazen, the squire at the age of 71, in his farewell appearance at the Open, that was back in 1973, made an ace. How about that?
Amazing.
She just played a wonderful shot from back there. Now a 7-footer. Good try, just didn't quite read the break, Frank.
It shouldn't be a problem, you'd think, cleaning up here for par.
Frank, how does that par help his cause?
It certainly doesn't hurt it.
Frank, how does the front nine finish up with this par 4?
Well, the par 4 ninth is called the Monk. It's not overly long, 423 yards, dogleg to the right, just one bunker down the left to be avoided.
Good contact, good result. That's an absolute tracer right there. In the fairway and well over 320 yards. Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. Chance to close out the front side here with a birdie. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Well, that's a bit disappointing.
I guarantee you, though, she thought she had that one.
This would give her the par. And that's in for a par. So through 54 holes, a really good position inside the top 5 with 1 round to go.
Yeah, and those handful of players that we're looking at, Rich, they certainly have looked the best players this week, which makes tomorrow look like a real thriller.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live final round coverage of the International Challenge. At the 15th, this par 4 is over 480 yards.
The key here really is the 3 bunkers, 2 on the left, 1 on the right. 260 yards gets you past that. If you find the fairway here, then you don't have to worry about the 3 bunkers that are short of this green.
That is a really good tee shot right there, Frank.
I think that tipped the 300-yard mark.
Right in the heart of the fairway, green light special. Outstanding strike right there, right off the center of the club face, and a good chance for birdie. 8-foot putt here. This is a good move. Another birdie. Now to 5 under for the tournament. Now the lone par 5 on the back 9, the 16th. And while you might be thinking birdie here, you may want to think again. What are the options off the tee, Frank?
Well, really, there's only one option, and that's keep it short of that burn, which is 280 yards. So that makes that 540 yards play that much longer.
That's a good spot right there.
Center cut.
Nothing wrong with that one. How about 300 yards and in the fairway? Second from an excellent lie. Settles in, looking to knock it in tight. On the green, and looking at a birdie opportunity. And getting ready for the putt. Did a nice job with that putt. Good read, good speed. These putts keep the round together. Tough break. And that's a bogey. Final par 3 here at Royal Troon. It's the 17th. And what kind of a hole is it, Frank?
Well, this takes your best long iron shot. Normally plays back into the prevailing breeze. You miss this green on the left, it will run all the way down the hill. The bunkers might look short, but if your tee shot isn't hit properly, it'll puff up into that breeze and certainly find a pot bunker.
That one ends up in the rough.
Oh, that went sideways.
Second shot coming out of the rough here. Pretty good shot right there. continues to roll the ball very well. Frank, now the final hole here at Royal Troon, and when you think about the legends who have made the walk toward the clubhouse and the claret jug, it really does give you a sense of where you're at. How about Arnold Palmer, Bobby Locke, Tom Watson, Tom Weiskopf? They've all made the walk on this final hole to the claret jug.
And they've all hit great tee shots, and that's really what you need here. There's a bunker for just about every distance you hit the ball. So there's 3 down the left. There's no other way around it but avoiding them. And there's 1 down the right if you try and play it too safe.
Good looking shot right here. So maybe a nice way to finish up with a good approach here to the 18th and a good chance for birdie.
It's at sneaky distance. Now putt for par. Even par currently.
Good putt. That'll put a wrap on our final round coverage for all of us at EA Sports. I'm Rich Lerner. We'll see you next time.